2:17 in the morning. The station belongs to no one. The loudspeaker repeats names of places that sound warmer than this city. A janitor sweeps cigarette ash toward the tracks. A young man hugs a suitcase like it still contains a future. And I sit at the far end of the platform, listening to silence arrive before the train ever does. There was a time I believed timing was everything. Meet the right person, say the right words, open the right door. Then life laughed quietly. Some doors opened into empty rooms. Some people stayed just long enough to teach me how absence grows. Now I don't rush anymore. Even clocks become patient when nobody is watching. The hardest goodbye I ever lived through never happened at an airport. It happened while sharing breakfast. We talked about weather, bills, groceries, everything except the distance already sitting between us. Sometimes love dies politely, without broken dishes, without raised voices. Only two people pretending tomorrow still belongs to both of them. So I learned to carry less anger, less explanation, less expectation. Because every mile becomes lighter when you stop dragging ghosts behind you. The night never asked who I lost. It simply walked beside me until I no longer counted empty chairs. My father once fixed an old watch. It never kept perfect time again. He smiled anyway. Not everything has to be perfect, he said. Sometimes it only has to keep moving. I didn't understand those words until I became older than he ever was. The train finally arrived. People hurried, I stayed where I was. Not every journey begins by getting on. Some begin the moment you decide you no longer need to chase what already left. Tonight the platform grows quiet again. Another departure, another ending, another chance to forgive a younger version of myself. The city keeps its lights on, not because someone is coming back, but because someone somewhere still needs enough light to find the courage to leave. The last train disappears into darkness. I stand, turn my collar against the wind, and walk home, feeling lighter than I did when I arrived. When I arrived. pianist never looks at the audience. Perhaps he understands that some songs are written for the people who never clap. I once apologized too late, not because I lacked the words, because pride speaks louder than honesty, until life teaches it otherwise. Now every quiet evening carries that lesson, like smoke trapped inside old curtains. The woman beside the window reads the same page for almost 20 minutes. I wonder if she's reading or remembering. There's a difference. Books eventually end, memories rarely do. My reflection waits inside the amber glass, older, softer, less interested in proving anything. The years didn't steal my fire, they simply taught it where to burn. Like this melody, never rushing, never demanding attention, only hoping whoever needs it finds comfort without knowing why. Some kindness works exactly that way. Stranger nods as he leaves. Neither of us smiles, neither of us needs to. Men who've carried enough winters recognize each other without introductions. Every empty chair belongs to someone who once believed they had more time tonight. I whisper gratitude instead of regret. It feels lighter. If I could speak to the younger man I used to be, I'd tell him, not every battle deserves your strength. Save some of it for forgiveness. It lasts longer than victory ever will. The pianist plays one final note. No one notices how much silence it leaves behind. Every Friday, I choose the same corner table Not because it's special, because it asks nothing from me. The bartender greets me with a simple nod. We've exchanged fewer than 50 words in 10 years. Still, he probably knows my life better than most friends ever did. Some conversations happen without language. I watch candlelight dance across polished wood. It reminds me of hope, never standing still, yet somehow never disappearing. There was a woman who once called me difficult. Maybe she was right. Some men need years before they understand their own silence. Success arrived, failure visited, both left eventually. Neither stayed long enough to define me. Character, I've learned, pays rent forever. I don't ask the night to erase my mistakes, only to soften their sharpest edges enough that I can carry them without bleeding into tomorrow. Outside, a taxi disappears into blue reflections. Inside, the saxophone sighs like an old friend who finally forgave himself. I hope one day I sound like that. Life has taken much, given much, explained very little. Maybe that's enough. When I leave tonight, the chair will be empty, the candle will burn on, the bartender will wipe another glass. Nothing remarkable will happen, except one quiet man will continue becoming someone he no longer has to escape. The night remembers those who never asked to be remembered. Every man needs a version of himself. Only the night has ever seen. I walk beneath the windows filled with borrowed happiness, televisions glowing, families eating, dogs asleep by warm fireplaces. Beautiful scenes, beautiful beautiful enough to remind me that peace looks different in every home. Mine has always lived somewhere between motion and silence. A forgotten melody drifted from an old apartment upstairs. I couldn't remember the lyrics, only how life felt before responsibilities learned my address. Funny, growing older isn't losing dreams, it's learning which ones can survive reality. Every unanswered prayer still led me somewhere, just not where I expected. I keep my footsteps soft. The city owes me nothing. The moon owes me nothing. Even tomorrow makes no promises. Still I choose to move forward, not because I'm fearless, because standing still has never healed anyone. The river carried reflections neither of us recognized anymore. Water never argues with the shape of the shore. It simply continues. Maybe that's courage, not winning, continuing. One day someone will ask how I survived the quiet years. I'll tell them I stopped searching for people to rescue me, and finally became someone I could walk beside. Before the morning never knows my name, I'll leave another piece of sorrow somewhere beneath these fading streetlights, not forgotten, not denied. Simply place where it can no longer decide who I become. And if anyone ever follows these empty streets, may they discover what I finally learned, that the strongest men aren't the loudest ones. They're the ones who quietly keep going long after the world stops watching. The first light touched the horizon. For the first time in years, I didn't feel like hiding anymore. There's a chair in the far corner of the bar. No one reserves it. No sign hangs above it. Yet somehow, every Thursday night it waits for me, like an old friend who never asks where I've been. always choose the seat facing the entrance, not because I'm expecting anyone. I've simply spent too much of my life watching people leave to enjoy turning my back on another goodbye. The bartender notices, he says nothing. Some observations become acts of kindness when left unspoken. There was a time when every opening door made my heart look up. Hope is a stubborn habit, it keeps returning even after disappointment changes the locks. Eventually I stopped waiting for familiar footsteps, not because I stopped believing, because I learned some people only visit us to introduce us to ourselves. So I sit quietly, watching strangers arrive with stories hidden inside damp coats and tired eyes. Everyone carries something, some carry photographs, some carry apologies, some carry entire lifetimes without letting them fall. Tonight I carry only enough to keep me honest. The ice melts slowly inside my untouched glass. It reminds me that even the hardest things eventually surrender to enough warmth. I wish people believe that about themselves. Outside the wind rearranges fallen leaves. None of them try to return to the branch. Nature has always accepted change more gracefully than we do. When I finally stand, the chair remains behind. Tomorrow, someone else may sit there, thinking they're alone. I hope the room offers them the same quiet mercy it offered me, the kind that never speaks, yet somehow sends you home a little lighter. The chair still faces the door. I no longer need to.
Silence paid a bill tonight before I even moved. The room felt lighter when I stood, like it approved. I didn't know the past a thing, not even grief. I learned what quiet settling brings is relief. Men confuse noise for being real. I've done it too. But silence sharpens how you feel what's true. The bar reflected less of me as I prepared to step back into what could be repaired. Jazz lingered like a final thought. You don't resist, some lessons can't be taught. I button comb into my chest like armor thin, not to protect me from the rest, but from within. Silence paid the bill, I walk free. Outside the city didn't ask who I'd become. It gave me distance, gave me task and drum. I disappear without a sound that's planned. A man who knows when he's been found moves on. Silence paid the bill. And stayed. He sat where time slowed down, near the back, away from proof. No need to guard a fragile crown, no need to chase the truth. Jazz curled softly round his glass, like it had known him long. Some men move built for fast, he moved strong. His hands had learned when not to shake, his eyes had learned delayed. He knew the difference patience makes when stakes are high to pay. He didn't flinch at laughter loud or jealousy nearby. A man who's made his peace with doubt lets moments die. The past sat quietly beside him, didn't ask for more. He'd buried it, but didn't hide it under the floor. Some men negotiate with fear, some men deny. He learned how to let it sit right here and try. presence doesn't shout, it remains. A woman past perfume and grace, he didn't turn his head. Desire's just another place where discipline goes dead. He paid the tab, he stood up straight, adjusted to the night. Time remembered how to wait till he was out of sight. Time resumed only after he left.
Every city has foundations hidden under stone, strength you never notice until it stands alone. I learned to build in darkness, lay structure out of sight. The loud construct illusions, I construct the night. Blueprints in my memory, plans beneath the calm. I don't speak of what I'm shaping, I let results disarm. Drums barely touch the surface, bass steady and restrained. Real momentum doesn't tremble, it simply remains. I'm building silent architecture, brick by brick unseen. No flashing lights, no spectacle, just discipline between. I'm building silent architecture, where patience sets the tone. And when the structure rises, it will stand on its own. I've walked away from arguments that offered nothing back. Energy is currency, and I don't waste it on the tag. Some men chase quick victories, celebrate too fast. I invest in permanence, in something built to last. Not understands ambition, but doesn't beg for life. Some of us were wired to operate at night. Silent architecture, steady and profound.
walk the streets where the city exhales. Neon reflections tracing my trails. The night is heavy, thick with thought. Every step deliberate, every lesson taught. Windows glow with stories I can't tell. Faces drift past like a passing bell. I move unnoticed, a shadow in grace. A man who treads softly, leaving no trace. Silent horizon, I chase the night. No need for noise, I follow the light. Every move measured, every breath mine. I move in silence through space and time. Warm bass hums like a heartbeat low. Electric strings weak with a subtle glow. Drums whisper like rain on a stone. I take the night as my very own. Every corner holds secrets, quiet and deep. I walk alone, yet the city keeps its pulse, its rhythm, but I remain. A moving enigma in the midnight rain. Silent horizon, I chase the night. No need for noise, I follow the light. Every move measured, every breath mine. I move in silence through space and time. The dawn arrives, the shadows fade. A man in the night, a path he made.
The night pulses under neon light. I move through it, silent tight. Every step a story, every glance a clue. I navigate life the way shadows do. I watch, I wait, I never rush. The city moves loud, but I hush. Electric guitar hums, bass flows deep. Drums whisper secrets secrets I vow to keep. Night's own rhythm guides my way. Through smoky streets I quietly sway. No one sees me, no one knows the quiet strength that grows and grows. Every corner holds a tale untold. I move with purpose to liberate bold. The world roars, but I am still a man in control. I am will. No need for words, no need for fame. I carve my path in shadow flame. The night is mine, the street's my stage. A quiet power, come and save. Night's own rhythm guides my way. Through smoky streets I quietly sway. No one sees me, no one knows the quiet strength that grows and grows. The sun will rise, but I remain a shadow walking calm and sane. Smoke hangs like unfinished thoughts. Neon flickers, but I don't. I've been counting what can't be seen. Not the money, but what it means. Trust that doesn't bend or break. Choices only grown and make. I don't argue with the night, I just sit and let it ride. Every scar across my hand is a line I chose to stand. They measure worth in noise and fame. I measure mine in what remains. When the room is stripped of pride and there's nowhere left to hide. Every loss refined my tone. Every fall carved deeper stone. Silence is a currency spent with care and dignity. I don't talk about the climb, I just move when it's time. No announcement, no decree, just quiet authority. Late night deals without a word. Respect is felt before it's heard. As I scan, not for fear, but for truth that's standing near. I've seen loud men fade away, burn too fast then decay. I prefer a steady flame, one that doesn't need a name. Whiskey low, collar straight. I don't rush, I calculate. Every breath a chosen pace. Every step leaves no trace. You can keep your spotlight glow. I got places I don't show. Power isn't what you claim, it's what remains without a name. Silence is my legacy, built on self-control and clarity. If you're searching for the throne, I've already built my own. In the quiet I became everything without the fame. Just a heavier beating heart.
I slide into the corner where the shadows fall heaviest. Candlelight brushing the rim of my glass. Guitar hums, bass breathes under it. The night folds around me, calm but deep. I measure my thoughts as carefully as I measure my steps. Every decision considered, every emotion contained. The world outside roars, but here I am deliberate. A man of refinement moving unseen. I observe without intrusion, absorbing stories. No one suspects the intensity of my calm. The music flows with my heartbeat, a rhythm of contemplation, of quiet resolve. Smoke drifts in spirals, echoing internal storms, but I remain composed, a gentleman holding the night. I drink slowly, I think deeply, each gesture purposeful, each breath intentional. When the candle dies and the bar empties, I stand, coat in hand, vanishing like smoke. No sound, no sign, yet my presence lingers. The quiet impact of a man moving with purpose.
Quiet suits don't beg for space. They occupy it slow. Tailored lines and broken face. That's how you know. This fabric holds what I survived, not what I lost. Elegance is staying alive at cost. I don't speak of tired eyes or nights that didn't end. A man who advertises scars has something left to mend. Jazz leans heavy on the room, like truth with manners. I've learned how calm resumes when chaos stammers. I don't ask, I decide. There's power in finishing a drink before it finishes you. There's clarity in how you think when you stay true. I leave the bar like I was taught, no open tabs behind. I mastered less than what it bought was time. Quiet suits don't beg, they endure.
Night has always been the teacher for the man who chooses to stay. When the noise of day is over, truth begins to find its way. I've seen pride become a prison, seen ambition turn to dust. Quiet kind of patience builds a deeper kind of trust. I've lost things I never mentioned. I've survived what I won't show, because every scar is knowledge that a silent man can know. The streets whisper quiet wisdom. Every shadow has a voice, telling men who learn to listen how to make the wiser choice. These are lessons of the night, under dim and lonely lights, where the loud begin to fade and the calm is slowly made. These are lessons of the night that a silent man can keep. Truth is louder after midnight,
I walk these empty avenues where the past can finally rest, knowing every quiet lesson turned a boy into his best. These are lessons of the night, under dim and lonely lights, where the loud began to fade and the calm is slowly made. These are lessons of the night that a silent man can't keep. Truth is louder after midnight, when the restless fall asleep. Every step a story, every breath a vow. I walk where the city doesn't know how. The lights are dim, the air is thick. I move like a thought, subtle and slick. I see the noise, I see the lies. I'm moving quiet, I analyze. Nothing escapes the man in the shade. Every choice deliberate, every move made. Silent steps, a life unseen. I roam the night, calm, serene. No applause, no eyes to meet, just the rhythm of my own heartbeat. Electric strings on my mood, bass and drums in a quiet interlude. I walk alone, but I am free, a man of purpose, silently. Through empty streets, through midnight rain, I carry my past, I carry my pain, but I move forward, steady aware, a gentleman living in the cool night air. Silent steps, a life unseen. I roam the night, calm, serene. No applause, no eyes to meet, just the rhythm of my own heartbeat. Shadows fade, dawn will rise, but I will move unseen wide. Shadows fade, dawn will rise, but I will move unseen wide. Unseen. Unseen. Evening settles slowly in this room. Candlelight trembling on the table. bartender wipes the same glass twice, and the piano sighs in minor tones. Outside the city keeps running, but in here time walks instead of runs. A man sits alone in the corner, not hiding, not waiting, just letting the quiet arrive. He once believed answers were urgent, that life demanded quick decisions, quick words, quick victories. But the years have taught him otherwise. Evening teaches slowly, not with thunder, but with repetition, with small reminders, with mistakes that echo longer than any applause. He remembers the nights he spoke too soon. Ooh, the moments pride move faster than wisdom, and how the loudest arguments never build anything lasting. Slow lessons of the evening whisper through the smoke. Slow lessons of the evening find the men who listen close. Slow lessons of the evening carved in quiet time, turning restless young ambition into discipline of a mind. Every scar became a teacher, every failure wrote a line in the quiet autobiography of the man he grew to find. The candle burns a little lower, the piano bends a chord, and he finally understands what patience is for. Slow lessons of the evening teach a man restraint. Slow lessons of the evening turn his scars to strength. Slow lessons of the evening under midnight skies, where the loud learn nothing and the quiet grow wise. The glass is empty now, but the lesson remains. The glass is empty now, but the lesson remains.
I sit alone where the shadows fall. Candlelight dances on a darkened wall. A glass in hand, thoughts run deep. Secrets I hold, promises I keep. The night is still, the bar hums low. I watch the world in its quiet flow. Every choice weighed, every word unsaid. I move with purpose, quietly led. Candlelight reflections, flickering slow. I am the man no one truly knows. Through silent struggles, through the night, I navigate life without a fight. Guitar hums warm, the bass holds steady. Drums brush soft, the rhythm ready. I breathe in calm, exhale restraint. A life deliberate, never faint. The world is loud, but I remain, observing quietly through joy and pain. No need for show, no need for fame. I sit in shadows untouched by claim. Candlelight reflections, flickering slow. I am the man no one truly knows. Through silent struggles, through the night, I navigate life without a fight. Candle burns low, the night drifts on, a gentleman's journey quietly drawn.
He didn't wait for the bartender, just rested his palm on the wood. The night already felt tender, like you know it would. Candlelight leaned toward his blast as his to listen close. Some men drink to forget the past. You drank to notice. The room moved slow, intentionally, like it was holding breath. He He sat there with a responsibility, not flirting with death. Jazz slid through brush burned and bass, like advice never falls. Heal her patience leaves a trace where panic destroys. He remembered when choices screamed, demanding to be made. That decisions came quiet and clean, and stayed. He lost the urge to chase relief, or outrun regret. He trusted Wade, not believe, or threats. Some men order noise, I order time. The bartender nodded, nothing said. Respect needs no display. He paid for what he already read in himself that day. Outside the street made room for him, like it always does. A man who's learned to live within knows less. With order time and finished it slowly. The strings are mine when the world's asleep. I move like a secret, and I'm okay. Footsteps soft on the asphalt, the quiet rhythm carries me away. I was the last brazen bone. I take my turn, I never end. The nights speak low, I listen close. Every decision I carefully chose. Midnight confession, whispered in the dark. I'm moving sea, leaving no mark. A city home, but I am still a shadow walking. Well, I will. Warm guitar hums, bass flows deep, drums like whispers. The night to keep, I carry my purpose like a channel flame. A man of silence, unknown by name. No applause, no eyes to me. Just the quiet streets beneath my feet. I am a call, the storm, the man, moving in signs according to plan. Midnight confession, whispered in the dark. I'm over sea, leaving no mark. The city home, but I am still the shadow walking. I will. The night retreats, I fade away. Long journey till the day. while you loud in broken bars. I listen from the side, men get noisier when they're scared of what they hide inside. I kept my bags half full, I kept my temper low. I've learned how power moves without a show. I don't ever at the moment, I let it reveal. Truth comes out when you don't own it, when you let it feel. He never raised his voice, never slammed a door. He made a choice, then he made one more. No depths unwanted, no emotion to cry. He left it for the morning, like a disciplined boy. Some men confuse noise with stuff. I made that mistake. Now I measure depth and length of every step I take. I don't argue with fools, I don't educate ways, I just quietly move off the stage. He never raised his voice, never needed to. He saw the joy, then he followed through. No speeches, no scene, no need to explain. He stayed unseen and still remained. Calm is intimidating if you understand. Silence is devastating when you command it. I don't shout to be heard, I don't push to be strong. I just wait for the word that tells me I'm gone. Streetlight blinks like it agrees. Now sit enough to make some men shout to feel free. I walk away to keep my sight. He never raised his voice, but the room felt changed. He made his choice, and the world rearranged. If you look for a sign, you will find a trace, just a calm behind an empty space.
the streets where the night breeze low. Every light a whisper, every shadow I know. The city sleeps but I'm awake, unseen. Silent steps echo where no one has been. Smoke curls through the alleyways I pass, a fleeting ghost, like the memories that last. I watch the world from corners, quiet and still. Decisions made with iron, tempered will. I leave no trace, only whispers in the dark. A moving silhouette, a lone man with a spark. I breathe in silence, I speak in eyes. I move through the night when no one hears my cries. Street lights flicker like the thoughts in my mind. Every heartbeat measured, every step refined. I've learned the art of patience, the power of restraint. In a world of noise, my quiet is my pain. And when a dawn breaks, I vanish like smoke. No one sees the man, only the words he spoke. I am the calm, the storm you can't foresee. A shadow walking alive and free. I leave no trace, only whispers in the dark. A moving silhouette, a lone man with a spark. I breathe in silence, I speak in eyes. I move through the night where no one hears my cries. I am the shadow, the silence, the night. I move in purpose, out of sight.
I light a cigarette where the fog is thick. The world moves fast, but I move slick. Street lamps glow like amber fire. I walk alone, driven by desire. The night holds me, a quiet embrace. I see every corner, every face. Life rushes past in a frantic blur. I am patient, my mind is still. Cigarette smoke and street lamps glow. I move in silence, the night my show. No one notices the path I weave, a quiet rhythm I achieve. Bass hums deep like a hidden thought. Guitar whispers what cannot be bought. Drums like rain on a distant roof. I walk my life subtle and smooth.
see the pattern others can't find. A gentleman moving, unseen, unclaimed. Every step deliberate, every moment framed. Cigarette smoke and street lamps glow. I move in silence, the night my show. No one notices the path I weave, a quiet rhythm I achieve. Morning comes, shadows recede. I vanish quietly, my soul free. Night falls around the jazz, dim and warm. Candlelight catching the edges of my thoughts. Guitar breeze, bass hum steady, drums brush soft. Every note a companion to my quiet reflection. I hold my drink, contemplate choices and losses. Every struggle handled without display. The world rushes unaware of the calm intensity here. I move with subtle purpose, every motion deliberate. Faces pass, the story's fleeting. I absorb as I navigate side of me. The music and shadows carry me deeper. A gentleman fully present, yet unseen. I rise only when the last candle fades. Step lightly in the streets that sleep oblivious. No trace left behind, no announcement made, only the soft imprint of quiet resolve. The night retreats, but I remain the man moving in.
in silence, deliberate, discreet intent. He was never one for shouting, never needed to be heard. He believed a man's intention should be stronger than his word. So he'll walk through every season with a calm that didn't bend, even when the road grew colder and the night refused to end. There were days he almost faltered. There were nights he nearly broke. But the quiet kind of strength is the one that never spoke. He just carried every burden like a coat against the rain, and the world kept moving forward, never noticing his pain. That's the quiet kind of strength that no crowd will celebrate. It's the patience in the darkness, while the loud men tempt their fate. It's the courage in the silence, when nobody understands how 1,000 private battles built a steady pair of hands. Now he walks through empty avenues with the same familiar calm, knowing life will test a man before it shows him who he's become. And if someone ever wonders why he rarely speaks his mind, it's because the deepest wisdom lives in men who stay confined. Strength don't always make a sound. Sometimes it just walks away. shadows pooling in corners, candlelight trembling on polished wood. I sit alone, drink in hand, watching the slow rhythm of life outside. Decisions weigh quietly in my chair, each choice deliberate, measured, unseen. Guitar strings hum, warm analog tones, brush drums brush soft as my thoughts drift. Segment 3, observation. A stranger laughs, smoke drifts from a cigarette. The bartender wipes a glass, his eyes tired. I see everything without intrusion, every movement, a note in the night song. Segment 4, internal contemplation. My struggles remain unspoken, unseen, handled with calm intensity, discretion. The candlelight reflects my quiet resolve, each flicker a marker of decision made in silence. Segment 5, departure. The bar empties, shadows stretch longer. I rise slowly, coat over arm. Outside the city breeze, unaware of me. A gentleman vanishing into the night with purpose.
The candle dances, flickering across my glass. Reflections bending in the amber hue. Guitar hums warm, bass lays soft beneath. The drums brush gently like whispered secrets. I trace the night with my thoughts deliberate, every choice measured, every move refined. Patrons laugh, unaware of the weight I carry, the quiet strength of a man who moves unseen. Smoke curls in slow, lazy spirals. I feel each note, each breath, each hesitation. Life's struggles are hidden behind calm eyes, every internal storm handled without display. world outside roars, but I remain contained. A gentleman navigating darkness with purpose. Every glance, every gesture is intentional, yet my presence is felt without a sound. When the bar empties, I rise slowly, coat in hand, disappearing in the night streets. No trace, no fanfare, only the subtle echo of a man moving quietly, fully aware. Fully aware.
I walked this block 1,000 times, waiting for the click. Not of luck, not of signs, just when it feels right and thick. The night watched me hesitate, the night watched me learn. Now it sees I'm calibrated and no longer concerned. I don't rush the door, don't force the lock. I wait for the floor to stop shaking its talk. The night knows I'm ready. Felt the change in my step. My hands are steady, my mind is kept. No nerves, no doubt, no fire inside, just a quiet route I already tried. Every loss rehearsed this moment, every scar aligned. I don't need encouragement, I don't need a sign. I've learned how patience sharpens what panic destroys. I don't chase what happens, I choose. The night knows I'm ready. No witnesses required. My breath is heavy, but never tired. I don't announce my plan, I don't want fate. I just do what a man does when it's late. Readiness is silent, confidence doesn't speak. I've learned how to be violent without being weak. I don't shake, I don't stall, I don't second guess. I've already lost it all, now I move with less. Streetlight nods as I pass like an old friend would. The future isn't asking fast, it knows I understood. The night knows I'm ready, it's why it stays calm. My heart is steady, like a loaded palm. If dawn finds an empty street, it'll know why I'm gone. I move discreet before the sun. The night watched and agreed. is dim. Shadows stretch along the walls. Candlelight dances over polished wood and glass. Guitar hums warm, analog inviting. Drums brush soft, a heartbeat I can feel. Segment 2, reflection. I hold my drink, feeling the weight of unspoken choices. Each thought deliberate, every breath measured. Life moves fast outside these walls. Here time bends, slow and deliberate. Segment 3, observation. Patrons laugh, conversations drift and fade. I notice subtleties, gestures, fleeting expressions. The world remains oblivious to the intensity I carry. A quiet gentleman moving through shadows of thought. Segment 4, in a monologue. Every struggle handled without display. Every victory private, uncelebrated. Candlelight mirrors calm determination. Each flicker a silent testament to careful living. Segment 5, departure. The bar empties, shadows stretch longer. I rise softly, coat draped, footsteps light. Outside the city sleeps, unaware of me. A man moving in quiet, intense silence. There was a night, the rain kept falling down these tired avenue lines. I walked past every place I knew and left my younger self behind. Used to talk about forever, used to swear I'd never been. But the city showed me slowly how a story has to end. I've seen proud men lose their temper, watch their kingdoms fall apart. But the quiet ones keep walking with a steady kind of heart. Every streetlight casts a shadow, every shadow hides a truth. You can run from every lesson, but they'll find you in your youth. Shadows don't apologize, they just follow where you go. Through
the midnight and the silence, down the road you used to know. Shadows don't apologize, they don't beg or justify. They just walk beside a man while the rest of life goes by. Now the rain is getting lighter and the city's breathing slow. Every step feels like a promise to a man I've come to know. Shadows don't apologize, they just follow where you go. Through the midnight and the silence, down the road you used to know. Shadows don't apologize, they don't beg or justify. They just walk beside a man while the rest of life goes by. And the night forgives the quiet one. Hat pulled low, collar high. Rain, don't ask me why. I cross the block like I belong to every place and under night. I don't rush, I don't stall, I don't need to prove a thing. I've seen kings learn how to fall from chasing everything. I don't shine under lights, I prefer the side view. Some men live for the fight, I live for getting through. I'm a gentleman nobody sees, walking soft through borrowed time. I don't bend my knees, I just straighten my spine. I don't leave a scene, I don't need a friend, I just move clean from beginning to end. Cigarette smoke, distant train, someone crying in the blue. I've learned how to feel the pain without letting it speak through. Every loss taught me control, every win taught me restraint. I don't gamble with my soul, I just accept what I ain't. I'm a gentleman nobody sees, no reflection in the glass. I don't find memories, I just let them pass. I don't raise my voice, I don't ask why. I make a choice, then I walk by. I've been loud, I've been wrong, I paid the price in full. Now I keep my circle small and my movement's beautiful. Still waters, heavy mind, every step is pre-decided. I don't leave myself behind, I just move undivided. Morning waits, but I don't care, night still holds me true. I walk like I've been there since the loss of you. I'm a gentleman nobody sees, but the street remains remembers me. I don't chase guarantees, I just move carefully. If the world forgets my face, I won't argue or defend. I was never meant to stay, I was built to transcend. Only the night tips his head. Only the night tips his head. Only the night tips his head. Streetlights shimmer on wet asphalt. I glide through the night without a fall. Every shadow bends as I pass. A gentleman hidden, leaving no glass. Watch lives flicker like a dying flame. I remain unchanged, untouched by fame. The quiet hum of the city, my song. A slow pulse, deliberate, strong. Shadows and steps, I move unseen through smoky nights, calm and serene. No eyes on me, no one to know. I take the long road, soft and slow. The guitar sighs, the bass replies. Drums tick softly like midnight skies. I make my mark in silence profound. A life observed where no one is found. Every decision carved in quiet might. Every step guided by inner light. I am the man who moves with grace, a phantom walking, leaving no trace. Shadows and steps, I move unseen through smoky nights, calm and serene. No eyes on me, no one to know. I take the long road, soft and slow. The dawn creeps in, the city awakes, but I have vanished, leaving no stakes.
Nothing personal in his eyes, just clarity earned. He learned not every goodbye needs to be burned.
bar had seen him years ago. Another man. Tonight he moved deliberate and slow, with a plan. He remembered loving without sense, bleeding to belong. Now he preferred consequence over wrong. Jazz whispered truths he already knew, didn't argue back. Life takes its time breaking you, then gives you track. He didn't blame, he didn't curse, didn't ask why. Acceptance is a quieter verse men rarely try. He paid attention to the weight of every breath. Nothing rushed him toward his fate or death. Nothing personal, just life. Outside the night held no surprise, just open space. He walked like someone who made peace with pace. No grudges folded in his coat, no debts unpaid. A man who learns the final note. Nothing personal, just life. Nothing personal, just life.
Watch reflections in the polished wood of the bar. Guitar bends low, bass flows like a gentle tide. Drums brush lightly, almost hesitant. Everything slows, deliberates, plotting tender. I think of the choices, small and large, decisions that shape me, unseen by anyone. Every thought carries weight, yet no one sees. I sit contained, letting life unfold silently. Flickers, casting shadows like whispers. I feel the warmth of quiet intensity. The night stretches, patient and forgiving. I trace its contours in my thoughts. I rise cold overarm, the world still unaware. No movement wasted, no gesture unmeasured. I carry discretion like armor, refinement like a shield. The gentleman navigating life in the quietest way. I pass the cafes where laughter dies. I hear their stories, their hidden lies. The city hums, but I am still a man observing, bending will. Each street a river of fleeting light. I walk along my purpose drive. I feel the pulse beneath neon haze. Every secret, every gaze. I do not speak, yet I understand. The hidden wars no one commands. Through chaos, calm, contained. A silent mind, a quiet flame. Between the lines I make my mark. A lone man wandering through the dark. No eyes on me, no one to see. Quiet life I live silently. Windows reflect the ghosts I meet. I linger in shadows soft and discreet. Every choice weighed, every step precise. Life unfolds like a roll of dice. I know the world will never know the silent power of the man below. I am the observer, the night my stage. Every step a story, every thought a page. Between the lines I make my mark. A lone man wandering through the dark. No eyes on me, no one to see. quiet life I live silently. Dawn creeps in, the city awakes. I fade into nothing as silence takes.
The streets are velvet beneath my feet. Every step deliberate, measured, sweet. Streetlights flicker like fading stars. I move through silence, carrying scars. I watch the city, its secrets and lies. I take no part, just observe with my eyes. Every sound softened, every movement slow. I act with precision, letting no one know. Velvet streets, my quiet state. I move unseen, beyond the cage. No one notices, no one knows the life I lead as the night flows. Guitar hums, bass runs deep, drums tick softly, secrets to keep. Every step intentional, every breath mine. I move like the night, deliberate, fine. Through alleys, dark and corners bare, I glide like a phantom aware. No need for words, no need for fame. I carve my path unknown, untamed. Velvet streets, my quiet stage. I move unseen, beyond the cage. No one notices, no one knows the life I lead as the night flows. The morning creeps, I fade from sight. A man of shadows, embracing night.
There's a rhythm in the distance between each measured stride. Not hesitation, precision, not fear, just disciplined pride. The bass hums like a heartbeat underneath the skyline side. I've learned that silence carries farther than a restless battle cry. Traffic lights blink and cycle, red to green to gold. The world keeps rushing forward, I move control. You won't see the calculations, you won't read it in my face. Emotion isn't weakness, but neither is restraint. In the space between footsteps, decisions are made. Not loud, not frantic, just quietly wait. In the space between heartbeats, a future aligned. The loud chase the moment, I master the time. Billboards scream for attention, neon begs to be seen. But the sharpest minds in any room move in between. Observe the intersections, watch patterns repeat. You can learn more from silence than from anyone who speaks. I've let anger dissolve itself, let ego fall apart, because composure under pressure is a form of art. In the space between footsteps, I claim my ground. No applause necessary, no dramatic sound, just steady breathing in midnight air. A city unaware that something irreversible shifted there. There's a gentle way of leaving that no anger understands, where a man simply grows quiet and removes his steady hands. No slammed doors or broken voices, no demand to be explained, just the calm of understanding. Some things cannot remain. He once fought to keep the moment. Once believed that love could stay, but the wisdom born from silence showed a softer kind of way. So he learned to move with dignity through the dim and fading light, like a gentleman who knows how to disappear at night. There's a gentle way of leaving where the quiet men survive. There's a gentle way of leaving where the dignity arrives. There's a gentle way of leaving without bitterness or blame, just the calm of understanding. Life is more than winning games. Soon the door will close behind him, and the street will take his name. But the peace inside his heartbeat will forever stay the same. There's a gentle way of leaving, only silent men can know. Where the strongest kind of courage is the strength to simply go.
There was a time he chased the noise, believed in louder dreams, believed the world will notice if he pulled the hardest scheme. But years have quiet teachers hidden in defeat, and wisdom sometimes arrives on tired and patient feet. Now he sits beside the window with a drink he barely sips, watching strangers chase tomorrow with a restless fingertips. The city spins around him, but he moves at his own pace, because peace is not a trophy, it's a calm you have to face. Nothing left to prove tonight, nothing left to say, just the quiet understanding that he chose a wiser way. Nothing left to prove tonight, under candlelight so thin. The loud may chase attention, but the calm will always win. No victory parade, just the silent satisfaction of the man that he has made.
Smoke drips slowly, curling through the muted light. Guitar hums in harmony with my quiet mind. Bass flows beneath, anchor in the evening. Drums brush soft, a heartbeat only I feel. I think of choices made, unspoken victories, struggles handled without announcement or applause. The world rushes past, unaware of my pace. I move with discretion, purpose and calm. Candlelight reflects in my glass, a private stage. Every flicker a mirror of thought and intent. I breathe, I observe, I measure the night. A gentleman holding composure in every gesture. No one sees the rhythm of my internal world, yet every subtle motion resonates with purpose. The music and shadows guide my careful steps, each note and breath deliberate, intense, quiet.
unseen, moving in silence. A man whose life is measured yet free.
One light on the top floor, building mostly black. The cleaning crew already gone, no audience to react. Tie loosened, sleeves roll clean, paperwork aligned. Not chasing recognition, just refining the design. Clock ticks without emotion, time don't sympathize. Either build deliberately or get consumed by noise. Bass steady like my breathing, drums barely touch the air. There's a power in consistency most men never bear. 2M office light, quiet empire inside. While they sleep and talk tomorrow, I prepare tonight. 2 a.m. office light, no applause required. The loud burnout by morning, the discipline get higher. I've learned to detach from ego, detach from quick acclaim, because reputation built in silence outlasts a famous name. Emails never show the hours, contracts hide the grind, but foundations laid in darkness are the strongest you can find. Nobody claps for preparation, nobody sees restraint. But when the moment finally comes, precision never faints. Light switches off behind me, elevator hums down slow. City still asleep, but I know. Every alley hums with stories untold. I walk through darkness, silent and bold. The city breathes, but I remain a man who moves without a claim. Neon flickers reflecting my face. I take each step with measured pace. The world roars, but I am still a shadow with iron will. The night knows my name, though none do. I move through silence, a path true. Every heartbeat guides me along. I am the quiet, the unseen song. Bass vibrates like a pulse in my chest. Guitar moans softly, letting me rest. Drums whisper like secrets untold. I move with precision, quiet and bold. No one notices, no one sees the life I carved in the midnight breeze. I am the calm, the shadow, the hand, a gentleman walking across the land. The night knows my name, though none do. I move through silence, a path true. Every heartbeat guides me along. I am the quiet, the unseen song. When dawn comes, I am gone. A silent journey, moving on. The streets are empty, the night is slow. Every lamp flickers with a golden glow. I move with purpose, no need for sound. A silent story in the city I found. Footsteps echo soft against the cold. I carry secrets, memories untold. Every glance I steal, every shadow I pass, I leave no trace, no footprints in the glass. I move quietly, unseen by the world. A lone man walking, my flag unfurled. No one notices, no one to tell. I walk in silence, I know this well. The bass hums low, drums barely awake. Guitar sings softly like a heart about to break. I watch the lives that roar and fade, and take my time with every choice I've made. The night is mine, a canvas so wide. I paint in shadows, nowhere to hide. doors, no faces, just the hum of the street. I am the rhythm, the heartbeat discreet. I move quietly, unseen by the world. A lone man walking, my flag unfurled. No one notices, no one to tell. I walk in silence, I know this well. Steps fade into dawn's first light. A man in the shadow disappearing from sight. Candlelight leans across the table, amber resting in my hand. The room hums low in minor chords, soft drums like distant sand. I've learned to sit with silence without the need to fill the air. A man who understands restraint doesn't advertise he's there. The loud rehearse their confidence, projected through the room. I let mine settle slowly, like smoke beneath the gloom. Every word I choose is measured, every pause intentional, because presence built on discipline is nearly dimensional. This is the discipline of quiet, the art of standing still, of holding storms behind the eyes, through patience and through will. I move without announcement, no spectacle to deploy. The strongest kind of power makes no unnecessary noise. Swallow pride before it spoke, let ego lose its seat, because a calm and centered man is difficult to defeat. The guitar bends slow and thoughtful, like memory refined by time. I don't chase validation, my alignment is my sign. There is weight in composure, in breathing slow and deep, in knowing what to answer and what to never keep. The candle burns lower, nothing in the room has changed, but something in me has a line. Last train already gone, platform empty, humming low. Fluorescent lights flicker overhead like thoughts I let go. Suitcase by my polished shoes, but I'm not going anywhere. Some departures happen inward, no ticket, no declared fare. Steel tracks stretch into darkness, parallel discipline straight. I learned long ago, direction doesn't need applause to validate. Bass rolls under distant engines, guitar bends slow and thin. I don't rush decisions anymore, I let clarity settle in. On this midnight platform, I stand without a sound. The loud chase destinations, I claim my ground. No dramatic exit, no visible flame, just a quiet recalibration no one can name. There was a time I boarded quickly, afraid of being left behind. Now I watch opportunities reveal their design. Patience is a private weapon, restrain a tailored suit. I move when movement matters, every action absolute. The city sleeps behind me, unaware I chose to become the kind of man who simply knows. Train lights vanish in the distance, silence settles again. Nothing changed for anyone else, but everything shifted within. The bar felt him leave before the chair cooled down. Like something learned to breathe with less sound. He didn't rush his coat or hat, didn't check the room. A man who knows where he's been at leaves room.
Wax from candles trace the hours, jazz band one last truth. carried weight and I borrowed power from you. No apologies in his step, no war inside. He understood what silence kept alive. Some men vanish loud and broken, some men leave proud, unspoken. Bartender watched, then looked away. Respect doesn't stare. The night accepted him like, say, a prayer. Behind him nothing changed at all, and that was fine, because real presence doesn't fall behind. The bar already knew who he was.
Bar hums softly, low and mellow. Candlelight flickers on polished surfaces. The top-end notes warm in the middle. John's brush with gentle precision. I sip slowly, savoring more than whiskey. Taste and choice is measured thought, is quiet victories. No one sees the calm intensity within, yet every gesture is deliberate, every breath precise. Observation. Observation, patrons drift past, unaware of my focus. Every glance, every movement, a story I track. The room becomes a theater of subtle rhythms. I move through it like a ghost for lit prison. Until thought lapse troubles I carried without display. flicker reflection with quiet mastery. Departure when the night ends, I rise softly, chord in hand, step into empty streets unseen, unremarked. A gentleman thought, the shadow in motion, carrying intensity of silence with purpose.